about the rich man who wanted to follow Jesus. He had followed all the commandments. He'd done everything that he was supposed to do as a religious man. But when Jesus asked him to sell his possessions and give the money to the poor and then follow him, he was unable to do that. He was attached to the things he had worked hard for, things he had accumulated. His material things really defined who he was. Therefore, he was not willing to dispossess himself of his own identity. That prompted Jesus to say to the disciples in today's gospel how difficult it is for the rich to enter the kingdom of God. Now, being rich in biblical times meant having some property, a home, a source of income, and some possessions. Those things meant a person could be independent to a large degree and live life as he or she pleased. But being a follower of Christ requires not independence, but dependence on God. Being a follower of Christ means that instead of doing what you please, you do what pleases God. And if that means giving up one's comfort and security to work for the kingdom, then so be it. We can just look at the apostles to see how this is done. When Jesus called them, we're told they left everything and followed him. That's not something the rich man in yesterday's gospel could do. If we're honest about it, we have to admit we are among the rich of the world. You may not think of yourself as rich. I don't. But we don't live like, and we may not live like royalty. There's probably a limit to the amount of money we have, and we can spend it on anything. But still, we are all better off than the majority of people in our world. Imagine if somebody from Somalia or Haiti came to stay at your house. Would they describe you as being rich? I'm willing to bet they would. So the question we have to ask ourselves is, to what degree does our physical comfort and material security keep us independent of God? Our possessions and earthly riches really have a way of fooling us into thinking that we don't really need God. Our comfort and our material security can prevent us from really understanding what it means to rely on God's providence. Just think about how differently a rich person's prayer might be from the prayer of a poor person. A poor person probably has to ask God every evening for most things: food, shelter, health, protection, and so on. A rich person, on the other hand, probably doesn't have to approach God for these things in any regular basis. Now, this doesn't mean that the rich person cannot be saved, but it means that those who have found earthly security and comfort must learn how to be dependent on God. Even the rich, can get down on their knees and thank and praise God for providing them with all they have. That at least recognizes that what they do have comes from the hand of the Lord. Rich people can still get down on their knees and ask God to teach them how to share what they have with others. I think that would be sufficient to establish a relationship with God and to pass through the eye of the needle into the kingdom of